during winter 2014, or it could have been like late 2013. I'm not sure. I don't particularly remember the year, but anyway, I was at my nearest Goodwill store in Des Plaines, and I was searching through the used CD rack that they have, and one of the albums that I found that day was this one. This is a band called Day in the Life. They are a long since broken up hard rock band from the late 90s. They are massively obscure, but I recognize the title of the band because I've heard of them a long time ago. I remember that they had a song called Street Justice, which appeared on the soundtrack album to the movie Strangeland with Snider from Twisted Sister. For those who had heard of, who are familiar with Snider, you've probably have seen or heard of the movie Strangeland. I actually personally enjoy that movie. It's one of my not even a guilty pleasure. It is actually one of my all-time favorites. As you can see, I have my own copy of it right here. But anyway, so this band, Day in the Life, like I said, that's how I recognize the title of the band, is because they appeared on that soundtrack. But the song Street Justice does not appear on this album. This is from what I read, this is like their one and only album that they made, which is kind of weird. I mean, considering that if they made a song for a movie soundtrack like the year afterwards, you would think that they would make more albums, but so far, this is the only album that they have made. But this is a really good band. I pretty much like them. I mean, for $1 at Goodwill, I mean, you can't beat that. And they're kind of like hardcore punk slash straight up hard rock. They have like a very unusual, tone to their like the guitar solos are pretty unusual sounding for a straight up hard rock group. They have like a Quicksand, Jesus Lizard, and kind of like a Seven Dust type feel to it, and they did not have much publicity or promotion, but they have appeared on under the TVT Records label, and along with other bands of that record label, like Sister Machine Gun, Gravity Kills, two of my other favorite bands. And like I said, they have been under that record label, but they, unlike the other bands that I have just mentioned, they are like almost not known at all, because they don't even have like a Wikipedia site that explains the history of their heyday. Like, they don't mention, like, you can find like websites about the band. That is, if you look up Day in the Life hard rock band from the 90s. This album was released in 1997, and they have some pretty awesome songs, but none of them are singles. Like, none of them have a music video to them, but you can find like some songs on YouTube. Like, there's Sign of the Times, which is the first song off their album. Open Wide. Self-Serve is a pretty good song, and There's also 10th in a Series, which is the third song off their album. But like I said, none of these songs are singles. Like, you can't... And like they have, from what it sounds like, they've never had like any like airplay, and they have not had any like... I have not seen any interviews on them on YouTube. I mean, you would think that that they would have an interview, since they were under TVT Records. But I guess you know, this band is like massively obscure, that that they basically, it's like it's almost like they don't even exist. But they, to me, you know, I'm basically the only person who's even known about this band, because as a music aficionado, I like to, you know, look up different bands, whether they're well known or whether they're like obscure as shit. And like, this is definitely fits the category of being obscure as shit. But you can probably find this at like a local thrift store, or like I said, you can look up their songs off of YouTube. This is their self-titled album. They don't have like a different name for it. It's just, you know, Day in the Life. But I really enjoy this album. See, this is the members of the band. As you can see there, that's the lineup. And if for those of you who are into like, you know, Quicksand and Jesus Lizard, or like basically, you know, with a touch of like new metal, I'd probably check this one out. Like I said, you could probably find this at, you know, in either the clearance section at Half Price Books, or just at like a thrift store. Like I said, I found this at my nearest Goodwill, and like the other two I just mentioned in previous videos, it has been part of my collection of used CDs ever since, and I am definitely proud of having this as part of that extensive collection, because like I said, for a buck, you really, that's like unbeatable. I don't think I can say this enough. So, Day in the Life, self-titled album, released in 1997, and that's basically it, you know, in describing this one band. So, thanks for watching.